North Goa nightclub fire that killed 25 people. The Bombay High Court will soon take up a crucial PIL on December 16th, a plea that demands a court-monitored investigation into the Arpora nightclub Inferno that killed 25 young people on December 6th. The petitioner, social activist Aishwarya Arjun Salgaonkar, has alleged that there are recurring failures in public safety, regulatory oversight, fire safety enforcement, disaster preparedness and crowd management across Goa, saying Goa's nightlife economy cannot be allowed to operate without accountability. This is a persistent problem across different places. Restaurants, nightclubs, hangout spots have similar lapses, and he's asking for an overall assessment of the nightlife in Goa. Even as legal pressure now mounts, the prime accused, Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, remain on the run. Their first image from Thailand is now out, confirming that they fled to Thailand, to Phuket. That's what we hear, to Phuket, soon after the fire broke out. So it was established that they were trying to escape the situation. Goa Police has now approached the centre to cancel their passports as well, and a request has been made to the CBI to issue an Interpol Blue Notice to track their movements through international agencies. This is the image there of Gaurav Luthra, his exclusive image that we've accessed from Thailand. According to CCTV and travel data reviewed by investigators, the brothers reached Delhi airport at 3 a.m. on December 8th and slipped out on Indigo flight 6E1073 to Phuket by 5:30 a.m. A clear attempt it was to evade arrest. Meanwhile, the state government has also begun a crackdown now on establishments linked to them. After demolishing the Birch club with JCBs, they razed down the club. Investigators also found major safety violations in some of the other properties. Authorities have now bulldozed the Romeo Lane shack at Wagator. That's also tied to the accused. A wider investigation is now examining why repeated warnings were ignored. Both Anjuna Police and the crime branch had earlier demanded the nightclub's approvals as well. They were warned earlier as well for not complying with some of the norms. But, well, they turned a blind eye and a deaf ear. Today, this is what we see. 25 people dead for their fault. Call records of the IPS officers posted in Goa at the time may hold the trail of possible interference, where they have tried to check on permissions and compliances, but it was never given to them. For now, the focus, of course, is justice. The victims, 25 of them, their families, need justice, and for that, the Luthra brothers need to be brought to book. Let me quickly bring in our panelists for a little more on what we're seeing today, the kind of law evasion that the Luthra brothers are committing, how they're escaping the law, running off to Phuket. Is it so easy in India for an accused to fly out and just never come back? And now passports of both accused have been cancelled. What does that really mean? We have Sandesh Prabhudesai, author and senior journalist, Goa. Serafino Kota, former president, Small and Medium Hotels Association, also from Goa. A.K. Jain, former DGP, Uttar Pradesh. Thanks very much, all of you, for joining us. Sandesh Prabhudesai, this first image that we are showing on our screens, if I could flash that yet again, of exclusive image of Gaurav Luthra in Phuket, right after the tragedy. Clear bid to evade authorities. What more do we know? The inside story of the Luthra brothers who set up, multiple restaurants and clubs in Goa. They're not Goans. They've come from the outside, but not lived up to the civic body's compliances. Tell us a little more of the inside story here as the JCB demolishes their properties.
See, the inside story, which everybody knows, is that the government has not taken a very firm action by demolishing the whatever that another establishment or thing which they had at Bagator. But there was a High Court order to demolish it, and High Court, in spite of High Court order, government had not demolished it. And now, after the whole thing is exposed, after the fire, what government has done is that they have gone and complied with the High Court order and they have demolished it. It is not that they have started something, now against everything against Luthra and nothing like that. It is just compliance of High Court order. That's all. And the question comes is that why it was not demolished all this time, and why they were protected and who were protecting them. That is more important now, and not this demolition. It is a delayed action, much delayed action.
saying it's a much delayed action, but what action was taken? What we hear is that the police are now saying we have records of IAS officers and officials talking to these Luthra brothers and asking for compliances. Why such a lackadaisical approach? You're right when you say that they were soft on them. Tell us a little more on what would it, if one does not have influence, if you're setting up a club, a restaurant, or any commercial establishment without safety protocols being followed, what ideally will be the approach of the authorities? And to that measure, clearly these Luthra brothers were granted, they were exempted for a long period of time without following compliances.
Exactly. Now slowly everything is coming out, and everybody is asking that why only these three officers were suspended or some action was taken against them immediately, and who are the people who gave them orders to stay that demolition order, to stay that High Court order of another Vagator club. So that is the main thing, and these people have been just made scapegoats. Looks like, whether it is the director of panchayats or anybody else. And main thing is that where the fire took place, it was completely an illegal construction because it is in a salt plan, and as per the law there cannot be any construction in the salt plan, and still it was done. So it is just not, government is now basically isolating the issue and issue to only this basically the Romeo lane, which has become Mario lane. Okay, Maro, that kind of lane it has become. And you're just isolating this case. It is not an isolated case. I would say it is a representative case of the nexus between these hoteliers or those who run the club, the officials of all the departments, concerned departments, and the people who are in power. Maybe they are sarpanches, they are MLAs, they are ministers, everybody. So that needs to be found out, and just not you isolate a case and just bang on one Lothra and finish the matter. It is everywhere rampantly going on. That action is needed, just not safety measures. That it won't be over with that.
Okay. If I could also bring in Serafino Kota, who's a former president, Small and Medium Hotels Associations in Goa. Serafino, now a Bombay High Court is all set to hear a PIL asking for a statewide audit of all the nightclubs, restaurants in Goa, saying that this is a issue that prevails across the state. It's not a one-off incident. This was just waiting to happen, and probably an even bigger major disaster could follow in the upcoming festive season. This is literally the season for Goa, the year ender. If it could happen at this nightclub, it could happen anywhere else as well, because most of these places are not compliant. Is that true?
Well, it's a good idea, and if they do, but however, it will not affect season. I must say that season means doesn't in a cubicles of nightclubs, dangerous nightclub. That's not a season. The season is maybe by the beach, and by the beach, people don't catch. You don't catch fire there. There are so many restaurants which are open air. There is not going to be a fire there. So audit is not going to affect there and here and there. And there are so many five-star hotel with multiple exit and entry to the venue already been taken care, because these hotels and these venues are being audited by the foreign tour operator before sending tourists to Goa. Mind you, that our audit can be always weaker than them. So once you have their audit already in your hand, which is far superior, so if they do this, it will not going to affect. On the contrary, Goa will be safe. But having said that, I am just thinking there are maybe some small club which are closing on time, but the small recommendation was put by fire brigade long back, and because of that, that is been closed. So I am worried about you don't just jump and here and there and just close anybody's place in the name of safety, which they have not done for years and years and years together. The issue is which nobody, no television channel is trying to say Why not a fellow Goan is not allowed or not have done so far such activity in Goa, and why it is always a non-Goan is doing it, and why only the non-Goan can get away from such a big crime. I'll just give a small example. For example, if I carry a gun without a license, it is I carried a gun without a license. That's
Yeah.
it. If I carry a gun with a license which is expired or little bit need maintenance, it's not a big offense. I delayed my renewal for a few months and it's not working properly. That's another issue, and you can handle it. But how
Yeah.
can one handle the gun illegally, bullets illegally, use it illegally? You know about it, and that can be always and always and always a non-go. Why? That's a question which no channel, no media is talking about. So I'll close it with one line. Something coming, a file coming from Delhi, or a request coming from Delhi, or anything which comes from the Delhi, people shiver it here. So that's how it must have gone. Goa is no more in the hand of Goan politician. Goa is no more in the hand of anybody. It is somebody somewhere controlling. That's why somebody could have. And the last point, which my friend colleague has just mentioned it, in Goa, in my own property, with all the clearances, with everything in my hand, the last clearance I will be denied. I cannot build near salt pen anything in Goa. You cannot build. You can have a shack near the beach, but near the river, maybe
Can you
subject
tell
to
me what were the violations?
the
Serafino, can you tell me what were the violations that were quite glaring in the Birch Romeo Lane Club? I'm playing out visuals for our viewers on the screen showing how electric firecrackers were lit up. It was ignited inside the club, and that's what led to the fire that caught on top.
yeah.
Very clear evidence here showing how the firecrackers that were not allowed to be used inside were used. And this happens in many nightclubs in Goa. So this is not the only place, but here, well, they had to face the brunt of it. Unfortunately, 25 lives were lost. But this is the exact time we're going to show you the firecrackers that were lit inside that very club that kind of resulted in the fire catching on to the roof, and then it spread so quickly. This is really the clincher. This video is the evidence here. And if you could tell me, Serafino, this was one of the violations, bursting firecrackers inside. Tell us exactly detail, in a nutshell, point by point, on the violations that these Luthra brothers committed while constructing this club.
Yeah, first violation is in Goa. Nobody lights a electrical fireworks in-house. Nobody, even when you have a first class top grade A class fire clearance. When you have a first class A class fire clearance, you are not supposed to light any electrical firework. Number one. Number two, a good cultured person will never do. And you yourself have shown me the pictures, the dress code. I don't want to go personal, but that's not a Goa's culture. Now again, those girls which are dancing there will be paid. Now these girls are not going. So where is the economy? How they've been paid? Let's say everything is legal. This girl need to be paid. This girl is not dancing free there. You need to pay. So what transaction they need to pay her? From where she is? Which country she is? How the money been exchanged? Through the what remittance the money goes out? See, it is not just a fire. The fire has opened our eyes. And we are just talking 3-4 days on the continuously on television about the fire. No, it is beyond the fire we have to think about.
Also, let me bring in our former DGP of Uttar Pradesh, A.K. Jain. As a police, sir, we are looking at the Luthra brothers who are absconding. They've run away to Phuket, and they've been there for a few days now. A clear evasion of the law and wanting to escape the police. They knew. But, this again, like I say, they've committed a lot of lapses, no compliances on one hand. On the other, they've fled to another country hoping to hoping for the media to calm down, for this story to die off a natural death, and then they'll come back using their influence, paying off money, and get away with it, with minimum punishment, or basically give some money to the families and settle it. Do you believe this will happen with the Luthra brothers? They've been absconding now for a few days, and the country is enraged. The passports have been cancelled. What does this mean?
No, it's not possible. Buying off the families doesn't make any difference because case is registered of culpable homicide not amounting to murder. Nobody has guts to put a final report in the case. It's a open and shut case. They will Goa Police will have to charge sheet all the owners. There is some Ajay Gupta also. There is one Kohli also. So many people. Some are putting up at Delhi. Some are in Goa. And two of these rogue, they have run away to Phuket, but it doesn't make a difference. Blue corner notice has been issued, and very soon they shall be brought within the ambit of law. They should be, and they shouldn't be bailed out. Also, there is a punishment of 10 years of rigorous imprisonment, and on speedy trial should take place in a fast track court, and they should be sentenced. And I agree with this 100% that the PIL, which has been taken up with the Mumbai High Court, that there should be statewide audit. All illegalities are going on. All sorts of illegalities are going on in Goa. So this is not permissible at all. There is a place which is inhabited by Israelis, Russians, and different gangs. They are operating there. They are indulging in drug trade openly. So many crimes have taken place. And I was shocked to read in one or two newspapers that one retired IPS officer or IAS officer and one serving, they were putting pressure on the local police, Anjuna Police Station, and on crime branch that action should not be taken against. So this is all corruption, nothing else. Money is changing hands. Actually, the entire club is constructed on government land, on salt pan land, which is not permissible. So naturally, they have saved a lot of money on land, so they can spend it. They can throw it here and there to various officers, retired officers. They can hire them and ask them to plead their cases. Very deterrent action should be taken. I think it should be an eye-opener for Goan government. They should realize that such incidents, massive incidents, can take place in future also. There is one entry and same is the exit. This is 100% against rules. You can't have the same exit, you can't have the same entrance. You have a very narrow entrance to the place. And half the club is in the lake and half the club is on the ground. So very narrow, and bamboos are there all over the place. Bamboos, if you are using this firecrackers, if it catches fire, the entire place will be gone. Bamboo is highly inflammable. So all sorts of irregularities are going on. I am absolutely shocked that why action was not taken against these people. The sound violations, naturally the people in the village staying nearby, they must be suffering. At times we also suffer. I stay at Lucknow. There's so many noises going on around us. At times we call dial 112 vehicle that please stop it. Please ask them to reduce the volume. So all this nonsense is going on, and action will have to be taken. And I'll be very happy if court-monitored investigation is ordered and court-monitored inquiry is ordered. That once action is taken in Goa, I think there'll be peace for quite some time. All these things, illegal activities, should not be allowed to flourish in a tourist destination like Goa.
No, sir, can you tell me a little on how the police plans to bring the Luthra brothers back? If their passports are cancelled, they're absconding, passports are cancelled, they can't quite return. So what would be the natural next step? Will you work with the Thai police?
Oh, no, they will go there. Them? Police people will go there. CBI will coordinate and through Interpol, and they will be brought back. No issue at all. Temporary passports are issued by the government, and they will be brought here and tried and sentenced to jail. There is no problem in that at all, because Interpol and CBI will manage it for Goa Police, and Goa Police people will go and arrest the people in there. We have an extradition treaty with Thailand, and they will have to hand over these culprits. And I think they will do it also, because it has become a famous case. People in Thailand also must have come to know. Journalists there must have come to know. So action will have to be taken against these people.
And finally, our guest, Serafino Kota, you are also the former president of Small and Medium Hotels Association in Goa. How has this sort of impacted the rest of them? Because this now will cast a shadow on all businesses, and there will be extra audits and scrutiny ahead of the festive season. Has it impacted business by and large?
Government can go very, nicely. This can conduct safe and fine. A government can fix a committee, take people on board, those who are like-minded. There are many hoteliers who do their business in a very decent way, cultured way, and especially it is done by the fellow Goan, meaning to say Catholic or Hindu who owns the hotels. The culture is totally different. Our DNA is common for both the community, Hindu and Catholic. If you take us on board, we can work together, and we can talk to government, provide government gives a hearing. Just can't shut the door saying that, okay, we know about it. We know how to go about it. We don't want to listen to you. No, we are the friend of the government, because the reason behind is I have to live with the chief minister. I have to live with the government, and he may be there next year also. So I am with an open mind to have to work with the government. We have certain papers been done. About 10 years we have done. 10 years back we have done a white paper. Recently we have done another white paper. We have something together done already. So just it is an enforcement thing. Take people on board, listen to them. Don't take it as an ego that I don't want to listen to this fellow or that fellow, and just selectively choose people who will do their job. No, we are there. If they want my service, I'm not that highly qualified as far as such cases are concerned. But just to tell you two things before we close the debate, I have done my foreign course, although I'm a dropout. Openly I'm telling you on the television, health and safety course with UK-based company called Crystal UK, which is a Thomas Cook, which has taken place in Siddharth Goa Hotel in Goa about 10 years back. I have done the course with them, how safety has to work. I have done a health and safety course. I have done a food keeping course. So all these things together we can help. We know how to run the tourism.
So there are experts certainly within reach in Goa for people who want to take that advice. They can reach out to. Thank you very much, all of you. Sandesh, you had a last point to make. I'm going to give you that last comment.
Yes, I just want to say one thing, that it was not a nightclub which was on fire, but with that, basically right now the illegal economy of Goa is on fire. The credibility of all the MLAs, the government, and everybody, all the elected people, that is on fire. And if this is allowed like this, then whole Goa's credibility will be on fire. The industry will be in mess. So that's why what is required now is just not a magisterial inquiry, but like how court is monitoring the things about safety, a judicial inquiry has to be set up by headed by retired High Court judge, which will not only find out about this all illegalities all over Goa, but also will prepare a road map for Goa's sustainable and balanced tourism. That is very important, and that is required at this moment, I feel.
All right. Thanks very much. I really appreciate all three of our guests joining us on this much needed topic. We're going to wait for the Luthra brothers to be reprimanded. We want to see them behind bars.